Welcome back to the deep dive. Now, if you're an ambitious aesthetic medicine practitioner, you probably spend a lot of time thinking about location, right? Getting the newest tech, perfecting your technique.
Absolutely. Huge investments there.
But there's this other area, maybe a gap, that even really sophisticated clinics seem to miss. It's about building something deeper, something that creates real patient loyalty, for the long haul.
Exactly. That's what we're digging into today. It's this idea of the infrastructure of trust.
Yeah.
And the core argument we're looking at is that real brand values, not just, marketing fluff.
Right.
Those are what turn a one-time patient into someone who sticks with you for years, becomes an advocate even. If your values are just buzzwords like excellence or, innovation.
Yeah, everyone says that.
You're basically invisible. It doesn't mean anything in a crowded market.
Okay, so where are we getting this framework from today?
We're pulling insights from Dr. Arya Masudi. He's a science tech business consultant, and he offers a masterclass focused specifically on this. His background is pretty interesting: molecular biologist, former researcher in regenerative medicine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he brings this really unique perspective, sort of the intersection of hard science and, high-end patient experience.
So our mission here is to get past that surface level stuff, the slogans, and really pull out the actionable steps. How do you build a belief system that actually guides clinic decisions?
That's the plan. A genuine, defensible belief system.
All right, let's start with the basics then. This idea of real value versus just a buzzword. Dr. Masudi says a lot of clinics just repeat phrases they think sound good. So what's the fundamental difference? Operationally, I mean.
The difference. It really boils down to cost. Simple as that, but kind of brutal.
Cost. How so?
A true value is a core belief, something you're willing to stand by, defend, maybe for 20 years, even when sticking to it means you lose money in the short term.
Ah, okay. So if it never makes you uncomfortable.
Exactly. If that belief system never forces you to say no to someone who wants to pay you or makes you skip a popular trend, then it's probably not a real value. It's just aspirational fluff, how you hope things are.
That's a really sharp distinction because, every clinic website says natural results or patient-centric care. How does that lack of a costly commitment actually hurt them?
Well, it kills credibility, basically. Consistency is everything. If you say you're all about natural, conservative results, right? But then your Instagram feed is just full of these, super dramatic transformations, before and afters that look totally different.
Yeah, you see that sometimes.
Patients aren't dumb. They see that contradiction immediately. The philosophy says one thing, the pictures say another. Trust, gone.
You really have to walk the talk, even when it pinches a bit. Is there a concrete example from the material of a clinic actually making one of those tough, costly calls?
Yeah, absolutely. Think about the Beverly Hills clinic mentioned. They built their whole identity around this belief. Age appropriately, not aggressively. And they actually put it into practice. They actively turn people away. Like a 25-year-old comes in wanting preventative Botox everywhere.
Yeah.
They might say no.
Really?
Yeah. Or someone asks for a look that's clearly going to be overdone. They refuse, even if the patient's waving a big check. That's a real value in action. It costs them that immediate fee.
Turning away paying clients, especially in Beverly Hills, that feels pretty radical. What's the upside strategically, losing that short-term cash?
Yeah, it makes them stand out instantly. They're proving their belief that conservative, age-appropriate thing matters more than the quick buck. And that attracts the right kind of patient for them.
The ones who actually want that approach.
Exactly. They don't get the transactional one-off clients looking for a quick fix. They get people who share that mindset, who value restraint. And those patients stick around. Retention goes way up. Lifetime value skyrockets.
Okay, so for you listening, the practitioner, the takeaway here is try to define maybe 3 core beliefs. Beliefs that are strong enough that you'd actually refuse certain treatments or even certain patients because of them.
Right. And if you can't think of any situation where you'd say no based on your values, well, then your values probably aren't very specific or meaningful yet.
That refusal is the proof.
It's the proof it's operational, not just words.
Okay, this is where it gets tricky, though, because things aren't always clear-cut. What happens when these values clash? Like, you value patient autonomy, letting the patient decide, but you also value clinical judgment and obviously safety first.
Yeah.
How do you handle that tension?
Yeah, that's crucial. You absolutely have to rank your values, put them in order. Without a clear hierarchy, a pecking order.
The pecking order, I like that.
Your team ends up making inconsistent calls. The receptionist might handle a situation one way, the nurse another way, based on their personal judgment at that moment. And that inconsistency, it leaks out. Patients feel it. The brand looks chaotic.
So we need that hierarchy. How does a clinic actually use ranking like that day to day?
Okay, look at the London clinic example in the material. They were super clear. They rank their values. Number 1, safety, period. Number 2, natural aesthetics. Number 3, then patient satisfaction.
Safety first, above all else.
Absolutely. And because safety is number 1, the staff have this immediate, clear authority. If a patient comes in, maybe influenced by some wild Instagram trend, asking for something risky or unsafe,
They can just say no based on the ranking.
precisely, they can refuse it,
Yeah.
and they have the clinic's official value structure backing them up. It's not personal, it's policy based on the top value.
What's the payoff for being that strict? I mean, they must lose some of that trendy social media-driven traffic, right?
They lose the noise, sure, but they gain something much more valuable, the signal. They build this reputation for being incredibly trustworthy, the safest hands in town. They become known as the doctor's doctor,
Meaning?
meaning other doctors, other practitioners who really know the field send their own families there. That's a powerful endorsement.
Wow, okay.
The big mistake is trying to have it both ways, claiming you value, say, cutting-edge treatments and proven safety equally. It sounds good,
What
but
happens when they conflict?
exactly. A brand new laser launches. It's exciting, maybe effective, but the long-term safety data isn't there yet.
Yeah.
What does the team do? Jump in early and risk safety for the cutting-edge value. Or wait 5 years for data and miss the trend, violating the proven safety value. They're stuck. Ranking solves that dilemma instantly.
So the action step for you, the listener, is list your values, maybe just 1, 2, 3, then stress test them. Throw a really tough, realistic scenario at them.
Yeah, like the example. A long-term VIP patient needs an urgent appointment. It's after hours. Doing it means we have to cut corners on a sterile protocol. What wins? VIP service or safety standards?
That consistency under pressure, that's the sign of a strong brand.
It really is. That's resilience.
Okay, this whole conversation about beliefs and values, it sounds a lot like defining the clinic's purpose. It's why. How does Dr. Masudi distinguish between that big picture goal, the why, and the specific things the clinic does, the how?
Good question. The why is the ultimate destination. It's the fundamental emotional state or outcome you want for your patient.
Yeah.
It should be kind of timeless. The how is the roadmap, the specific methods, behaviors, protocols your team uses every single day to get the patient to that why.
Can we break that down? An example, maybe?
Sure. Let's say a clinic's why is straightforward, helping patients feel genuinely confident in their own skin. That's the end goal, the feeling.
Okay, confidence.
Their how might then include specific actions like being brutally honest, actually telling patients when they don't need something or won't benefit.
That takes gut.
It does. Other hows could be a real commitment to patient education, or always using a gradual enhancement plan over months, not just one big change. So if a patient asks for something really drastic,
The team can point back to the why.
exactly, they can say, look, our ultimate goal here is your long-term confidence. We believe this aggressive approach might actually undermine that down the road. Here's how we propose getting you there instead. It connects the action back to the purpose.
I see. So the big mistake is just talking about the how without ever really explaining the why.
Precisely. Leading only with tactics, the how feels very transactional. Like saying, we use premium fillers.
Okay, so what?
Right. The immediate patient thought is, premium fillers for what purpose? To look frozen, perfectly natural, younger, totally different. Just focusing on the tool misses the point. Patients aren't really buying the filler, they're buying a feeling or identity change they hope it brings.
Got it. So for you listening, the exercise is to complete this sentence. Everything we do, every single day, helps our patients achieve blank. Define that core why.
And once you have that why, then list maybe 3 or 4 specific observable behaviors, the hows, that directly lead to that outcome.
Yeah.
Like, we refuse treatments that would create an obviously done look, or we always start with the lowest effective dose and build gradually.
Things you can actually train your team on.
Exactly. Those specific behaviors become your operational playbook. Everyone, from the person answering the phone to the lead injector, knows how to act in alignment with the why.
Okay, writing these values down, ranking them, defining the why and how. That's one thing. But how do you make them real for the patient? How do they actually feel these values when they walk in the door or sit in the chair?
This is key. Values that are experienced stick much deeper than values you just read on a website or a brochure. This is how you shift from being just another service provider to becoming, well, almost like a movement, creating a community of patients who think alike.
You have to design moments that actually prove the value.
You got it. Design the experience.
Can you give us an example? How does an action prove a value?
Okay, think about the Sydney Clinic mentioned. Their big value was demystifying aesthetic medicine, making it less scary, more transparent.
Right.
So their experience design was pretty cool. They had this mandatory mirror session. The doctor didn't just talk at the patient. They actually drew lines on the patient's reflection in the mirror, showing exactly where injections would go, the depth.
Oh, interesting.
Visual, very visual. And get this, they gave patients empty syringes to hold, to feel the size, understand the volumes being discussed in real, tangible terms, not just abstract units or mLs.
Wow, that really takes the mystery out of it.
Doesn't it? Patients left feeling like they were partners in the process, educated, respected, in control.
Yeah.
It wasn't something being done to them. That experience proved the value of demystification.
That's powerful. What about that other example, the slow beauty one?
Yeah, another great one. This clinic built its brand around slow beauty, taking time, being thoughtful, not rushing. So how did they make patients feel that? They designed their consultation rooms with 0 clocks visible, none. And they mandated minimum 45-minute appointment slots, even for small follow-ups.
No clocks. That sends a message.
It really does. The design itself, the operational rule about appointment length, it forces the patient to physically experience unhurried time, focused attention. The value wasn't just stated, it was felt, palpable.
And presumably, this kind of experiential design builds that deeper loyalty over time, maybe even if it means fewer patients seen per day.
Absolutely. Look at the Toronto Clinic example. Their focus was age positively, don't try to erase yourself, a specific philosophy.
Okay.
Now, their initial inquiry rate, like first-time calls or website clicks, was actually lower than their competitors who promised dramatic, fast results.
So slower start.
Slower start, yes. But here's the kicker. Their patient lifetime value was 3 times higher.
3 times.
Because they weren't attracting people just shopping around for the cheapest Botox unit. They were attracting people who fundamentally agreed with their philosophy about aging. They found their tribe, people looking for a partner in how they approached getting older. Not just a quick fix. It attracted an aligned mindset.
We talked about credibility killers earlier. Is there one big operational mistake clinics make that just destroys this experiential value?
Inconsistency. It's the absolute killer. If you invest all this effort crafting a brand around, say, restraint, integrity, long-term thinking, and you do that on Monday, then on Tuesday, your marketing team blasts out an email. Limited time only, 20% off fillers. Book now or miss out.
Oof.
Yeah.
The patient sees right through that. They see the panic, the push for sales targets. It immediately contradicts the carefully built feeling of trust and long-term care. The experience shatters.
Okay, let's talk positioning. Dr. Masudi mentions clinics needing to choose a lane, either progressive or traditional. How does making that choice affect building this brand foundation? It's fundamental. You basically have to decide, are you primarily for the change seekers, the people who love novelty, speed, the latest thing? Or are you for the tradition keepers, the ones who prioritize proven results, low-risk, established methods?
And you can't be both.
You really can, not effectively. Because the core values of those two groups often conflict. Trying to appeal to everyone usually means you don't deeply resonate with anyone. You become beige.
Can you give us that contrast again?
Sure. Think about the New York clinic positioned as experimental aesthetics. They're open about being first with new tech, maybe even using things off-label sometimes. They attract artists, designers, early adopters who value that edge.
Okay, the innovators.
Right. And they have the Boston Clinic positioned as classical aesthetic medicine. They talk about techniques with decades of safety data. They attract lawyers, executives, people who need minimal risk and predictable outcomes. Both are successful. Why?
Because they chose a clear lane.
Exactly. They picked a side, owned it, and built their values and experience around it. Non-negotiable.
And once you've picked that lane, Dr. Masudi suggests you can position the clinic to solve deeper patient dilemmas, things beyond just wrinkles or volume loss.
Yes, this is really next-level branding. Think about the internal conflicts patients often have. They want to look better, maybe younger, but they feel guilty. Is it vain? Is it selfish?
That internal struggle.
Right. So the Chicago Clinic example, they built their brand around self-care, not selfishness. They actively reframed aesthetic treatments. It wasn't about vanity. It was about self-respect, mental well-being, confidence.
Changing the narrative.
Totally. And that specific framing directly attracted patients who were wrestling with that exact guilt or conflict. It gave them permission, a justification aligned with positive values.
And finally, activating these values. It has to happen at key moments, right? Like when someone is about to book or tell a friend.
Yes, activation at the point of decision is crucial. It reinforces everything.
Yeah.
The Melbourne Clinic example is brilliant.
Remind us.
They put a simple sentence into their automated booking confirmation email. Just one line. Reminder, we only recommend treatments we would confidently give to our own family members.
Simple, but powerful.
Incredibly powerful. It activates their core value of medical integrity right when the patient has committed but before they walk in. And the result, their no-show rate dropped by 30%.
30%. Just from that sentence.
Seems like it, because it likely pre-filtered out people who weren't serious or who were maybe just looking for the cheapest, quickest thing and realized this clinic had a different standard. It reinforced the why at a critical moment.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. For the practitioner listening who's thinking, right, I need to do this, let's recap Dr. Masudi's 5 key steps for building this kind of durable, value-driven brand.
Okay, the 5 steps, designed to be practical. 1, map your honest beliefs. What do you genuinely believe about aesthetics, beauty, aging? Include the stuff that might be unpopular in your area.
Get real with yourself first.
Absolutely. 2, identify the gap. Look around. What's every other clinic claiming? What's missing? Where's the unmet need or unspoken value you can own?
Find your niche. 3.
Build your system. Define your core why, that ultimate patient outcome. Define your specific hows, the behaviors to get there. And crucially, establish that clear 1, 2, 3 ranking of your values.
Okay. 4.
Design the experience. Create tangible moments, touch points, protocols where patients don't just hear about your values, they actually feel them. Make it real.
Like the mirrors and syringes, or the no clocks room.
Exactly. And 5, activate everywhere. Embed these values consistently in your team training, your marketing messages, your consultation process, your follow-up calls, your billing practices, everywhere.
Let's use that case study. Dr. Masudi provides Dr. Sarah in Austin to see how these 5 steps look in action. What were her foundational beliefs? Step 1.
Her core beliefs were pretty countercultural for the industry. She genuinely believed most patients need less treatment than they initially think they do, and that the very best results, the truly beautiful ones, take time and patience.
Okay, belief and restraint. Step 2, the gap.
The gap was obvious. All of the local competitors were shouting about speed, dramatic transformations, instant results. So she positioned her entire clinic around the opposite: patience, subtlety, restraint.
Owning that niche. Step 3, her system, the ranking.
Her hierarchy was crystal clear, non-negotiable. Safety first, natural results second, patient demands third, and revenue explicitly last.
Revenue last. That's significant.
It allowed her to operate with total integrity according to her beliefs. Step 4, the experience design. She focused everything on the long view, reinforcing patience. Consultations included a mandatory future phase discussion. What will this look like in 5 years, not just next week?
Sorry.
She took patient photos from 10 feet away, not just flattering close-ups, to show how they look in the real world. And she offered a literal pause button during treatment.
Pause button.
Yeah, like a signal that the patient could stop anytime, think, reassess. It physically signaled that they were in control and that restraint was okay, even encouraged. It built huge trust.
Wow. And step 5, activation. How did that philosophy show up everywhere?
All over the place. The script for the receptionist actively managed expectations. Just so you know, Dr. Sarah's approach is quite conservative. She might suggest less than you're thinking.
Setting the stage.
Her website didn't shy away from it either. It boldly stated something like, "We turn away more patients than we treat."
That's a statement.
It is. And this total aggressive commitment to her value of restraint, it led to incredibly high patient trust, almost 0 complaints, and an 85% patient retention rate. Because the patients she attracted and kept were perfectly aligned with her philosophy from the start.
That consistency just shines through. So, wrapping this up, the core insight seems to be your values need to be consistent across the board. They absolutely must be ranked for when they conflict. They need to be tangible and experiential for the patient.
And crucially, they have to be strong enough that you're genuinely willing to let them cost you money sometimes. That's the real test.
Right. And a few final warnings, maybe? Things to definitely avoid if you're trying to build this.
Yeah, a few non-negotiables that Dr. Masudi highlights. Don't list like 7 or 10 values. If you stand for everything, you stand for nothing. Pick a few core ones.
Keep it focused.
Don't just copy whatever look or trend is hot on Instagram this month. That's chasing, not leading. Don't change your core message every 6 months. Build something durable.
Consistency again.
And maybe the biggest one, never, ever let your internal operations, especially how you handle finances, scheduling pressure, or talk about complications, contradict the values you state publicly. Patients sense that hypocrisy instantly.
So really, what separates the clinics that truly thrive long-term from those just getting by?
It's pretty simple, actually. Thriving clinics have patients who identify with them, with their mission, their philosophy, their values. They don't just use the clinic, they feel like they belong to it.
That sense of identity becomes the competitive advantage.
It's the new currency. That commitment to an honest identity is how you differentiate in a market that often feels saturated.
Okay, so we'll leave you, our listener, with this final thought on Inspired by Dr. Miss. What do you actually believe deep down about the real purpose and meaning of aesthetics, whatever that honest, potentially costly answer is, brand?